1, 2, 3. Hi guys! Look who it is. You don't know her, but I'm going to introduce her.
Oh,
this is my good friend Dema. Dema and I know each other now for like
2015? No, before then, because we hadn't qualified. We were 4th years because we did the summer placement. 3rd years.
Oh my god. So
you used to sit in the other corner of the room and not speak to me.
Yeah,
FYI.
Yeah. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, you don't keep up to date with these things, so do follow me on Instagram. But we asked some questions on there about pharmacy, because Dema is actually also a pharmacist. But Dema's taken a very different, like,
career path.
I wouldn't say too different, but like, it is different.
Yeah, we're like different.
I look up to Dema, is what I'm trying to say. I do, like, I genuinely do. I do.
Yeah.
And like, out of my friends, she's one of the people who, like, she's had a goal and she's like, I feel like you've achieved it.
Yeah, like I do try. We were talking about this earlier, and I have achieved the goals that I set out to.
But we thought we would just come on and first start to give you guys a bit of context about how we met. So we said that we met when we were summer students. We're not going to say where we worked for me.
Yeah.
But we worked for the same company. And that's how we met. So when you are, we're going to talk about pharmacy, by the way. So I feel like pharmacy lingo is a bit hard to like understand.
Yeah,
Should we give a brief story about pharmacy? We go to uni for 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I did 5 years because I did a foundation degree.
So this is another good thing that you see is
different. My MPharm first year was split up into 2 separate modules across 2 years, and then I did 60 days of placement in over the 2 years. So I got loads of pharmacy practice by the time I got into MPharm second year, and then I carried on with a cohort of people.
God, that's crazy.
That's why I'm more like, you know how you say I'm really like practical and very much into that thing?
Yeah.
It's because I've learned all that at uni.
So I did 4 years and you did however many you said, I've already forgotten.
5.
And then you have something called Pre-Reg. We call it, well, it's actually pre-registration. And do you want to say what it is? So I'm not talking the whole time.
52 weeks of you doing placement.
She knows all the stuff. See, I don't even like remember how many.
You have you have a certain like.
This is why I brought her.
75 competency-based stuff. So like these like criteria you have to meet, and then you get basically signed off for it, and then you have like reviews at like.
And your tutor. So you get signed a tutor.
Yeah. So you get 3 reviews, I think, across the whole year, wasn't it? And they have to sign you off as you go along.
So if they don't think you're good, you don't get signed off, which is rare.
I mean, I know people that have. I know people that passed the pre-reg exam and didn't pass the competencies, or their tutor didn't want to sign them off. When
you are doing pre-reg, some like big companies will also have like courses, like study days. Yeah. Or even if you work for an independent, you might go on a study day that...
Like with Buttercups, I think.
Yeah, so like Buttercups, I can't think of anyone else. But like stuff like that. And you meet people like in other independents, for example, but we met through our company doing those study days.
And we did it every month, wasn't it? So every 4 weeks we'd come out of, like it would be part of your like rota. So like, and they plan you in. So I think we did like maybe 8 sessions across the year. And then
so you do cardiovascular, you do
like diabetes,
maths days.
We had an OSCE.
I remember I came in and I wore like to one of the study days, I wore a denim shirt and I got in trouble.
This one always gets in trouble for what she wears.
It's so funny. But yeah, we met there, and like I thought it'd be funny as well, like just to say like what we thought of each other when we met each other, because we've said this to each other, which whatever.
Yeah. I remember.
You say first.
So I remember being in like this. By the way, for you to get into pre-reg with the company that we worked with, you had to do summer placements.
Yeah.
So everyone in like 3rd year was doing this like. The forms and whatevers. I think it was December. No, it was 3rd year December that you had to submit. And I remember everybody in my year had done it, and everyone used to say, oh no, I'm not applying. And then being the dopey person in the year group, I realised everyone had applied on the day.
Everyone tried shit.
Yeah,
people used to get
people are snakes, by the way, because they worry. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So everyone had submitted, and I hadn't. So I went off and did it that night, and I submitted, and I find it really funny and quite a little bit ironic where quite a lot of people did get the summer placement, but not very many people got the pre-regs, and some people got pre-regs and they were a little bit far.
Snakes.
Things come
people are snaky, like
what goes around comes around.
But we met at one of those study days.
Yeah. And then I remember you wearing a red jumpsuit. It was like a jumpsuit or like a dress.
I did not wear a jumpsuit to a study day. Boo, I did not wear a jumpsuit.
Well, it was like a red. No, it was
red.
Yeah.
A jumpsuit.
I think so. and she was blonde.
Was I blonde?
You were blonde at the time,
Oh.
yeah. And I just remember, like, I'm sorry, I thought you were Ice Queen.
It's sad. I do come across, like, I think for people, this is why I thought it was funny, like, we have to tell this story. People, like, maybe I come across bubbly.
Yeah, but in real life, shit.
Do you know what
I'm joking.
No.
But it's because I know why. Like, I know why. I get it.
I'm not quiet.
You're not quiet.
I'm just reserved.
Yeah. I think you're one of these people where, like, I think you've, like,
Been hurt by so many people.
much, and well, this platform probably is part of it, that you know, I think you're, like, more mature than your years tell you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like somebody who's, like, I don't know.
It's like I'm sitting in a room full of people who are, like, 18, but I'm actually, like 28.
And you're obviously not going to want to be warm to the people that you're just thinking, oh my God.
I mean, it's not a judging thing. I don't sit there and, like, judge people. I just like sometimes to take it all in.
Like, you're observer.
Yeah, like, and I'm very funny about where I sit in places. So I'll go, like, early and I'll sit in that place.
Where there's no draft because she gets cold all the time.
Yeah, see, she knows me. And I don't know. And then when I first met you, I just thought she was super, like, the company that we work for.
I get this all the time, but it's not
in a bad way. I was like, I really, like, if anything, I, like, really, and I've said this to you, like, I'm saying it now, I look up to you. Like, I always thought, oh my God, like, how does she know it all? Like,
I really don't.
No, she's really, I don't know it all. She's very business oriented. You're very, and I'm not. I'm
But you're more clinical than I am.
See, you say this, but I don't think your clinical knowledge is that bad. But I am quite clinical.
Like, it's obviously not bad enough for me to pass the Pre-Reg exam first time round.
But it's just, I just thought she was very, like...
yeah, I know, I get that a lot.
But not in a bad way. I was just like, oh, but I'm not, like, clever enough to be, like, friends with you.
Really?
No, I was like, oh. And then she was quite good friends with someone else. So and you were always sort of with her.
Yeah.
And then I think we just had a group thing together. So they'd move you around the tables. We then, like, I think just clicked. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think during, like, revision and stuff, I've, like, we messaged a lot. We used to, like, send each other stuff.
Which people don't do, snakes.
Yeah, people don't do that.
So if you're going through Pre-Reg, yeah, you'll see a lot of that.
Yeah.
But that's a bit of how we met. Probably took like 20 minutes, but that's fine. Oh, do you want to give a backstory about what you do?
Oh, okay. So I am.
They know about me.
Well, from, like, the beginning. So obviously Pre-Reg.
Yeah, just give, like, a
rough
mid 2-minute summary.
Okay, so then I relieved. I was part-time, then went full-time.
What's relief?
Which basically is like you locuming for, like, one company, and then they throw you into different, like, stores. So say I was covering, I don't know, like
Southwest London.
Yeah. So I'd cover
London.
Whatever days off people had or holiday cover, that's what I was doing. And I was part-time for, like, 2 days a week, usually a Saturday and a Sunday I'd work, and then I'd ask for extra duties to, like, obviously want more money, because I'm, like, I've just come out broke student, like, a ridiculous amount of debt that I need some money. So I did that for, like, until, like, probably January, February, and then I did full-time in one area, and then I basically, as a relief, and then I vocalized that I obviously wanted a store or to go into that. So
can I also interject? One good thing about this one is that she vocalizes.
Yeah, you need to let people know.
This is something that I really value from her, and I wasn't a very vocal part of the company. I just kind of, whereas she will talk and say what she feels and wants, which I, again, carry on. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is, you know, sometimes it's a
really
bad thing, but majority of the time it's a good thing. So yeah, so I did that for, I think about a year. I did that for a year. Yeah, I did that for a year and a bit. And then, but I asked to cover stores for holiday breaks. So they throw me in a store. Yeah, so they throw me in a store for, like, 2 weeks. And then I would go and do a cover where they didn't have a store manager, and I'd be their step-in relief. And I'd do that for 6 weeks, or I'd do that for 12 weeks, or I'd do that for however many weeks.
Whereas I was more, when I was relief, I was more like one day here, one day there, one day here, one day there.
But then I would also do that. So I would do the 1 or 2 days in between, or whatever it is.
The longer.
I prefer the block because of the way I am. Like, I like to build relationships with my colleagues. I like to build relationships with my, like, the people that come through the, like, the doors.
The customers,
you, like, a bit of banter, and also, like, I kind of like to
improve
things. Doctor, nurse.
Yeah.
Pharmacist, okay, thanks. Doctor, thank you. Then I got offered a store to basically sort out. problem store.
Hard.
It was a really intense
Babe.
store. It was intense.
I worked in that store.
Yeah. There were a couple of breakdowns along the way, but like at the end of the day, the whole point of our job, like the way I see it is I'm a pharmacist because I need to care for people, and I don't see the point of me working on a daily basis for just to do something that not benefits people. She's
very good at going into a store, seeing the problems and fixing it. Which
I'm very operational.
What the company that I worked for and that Dema works for is kind of looking for people like that. Whereas I was more of someone who just kind of milled about. Dema's very proactive in doing that, and that's why I thought it was nice to have her input. I don't think you would have thrived in a small, like, little...
No. And I did that for 12 weeks, and I was...
Was that only 12 weeks?
Yeah, I did it for 12 weeks, and I couldn't stand it.
Oh, did you relief again?
Yeah, I went back on reliefing. So then after that, I got offered the store. I did that for like 5 months. A lot of work, had lots of people that are way above my head coming in and like checking in with me and did whatever. Then I got offered to be put on a leadership program as a pilot, so the one that I did. So I was like one of selected few people in London that did this pilot, and then they rolled it out since. And then I've been now a store manager as of Monday. That's just gone by for a year.
That's so cute. Oh, so this is good. So,
yeah. And then I've won awards and done all sorts, like very
big awards.
Yeah. Which don't have like regional awards that have gone to national. Like I won Healthcare Team of the Year, and the award, which isn't a small award, it's like you literally have to get everything right in the dispensary. And a lot of it comes from feedback from customers. So you know, like when we ask for feedback, and we actually, like I get it on my phone, like it's a bit of an addiction, it's like Instagram.
So as a pharmacist.
As a pharmacist, it's quite geeky. So yeah, so I did that, I've done that, and that's where I am now. And
her store is like, describe your store.
So my store is your typical high street store.
Busy,
but it's very busy. And it's very
demanding.
Like, yeah. And people know me by name, so they will only ask for me. If I'm doing something, don't care. They're gonna wait half an hour.
Let me turn this on again. Wait 1 second. Everyone's like, Dr. Dema, Dr. Dema.
Doctor. And then they worry about me as well. Like Christmas, God knows how much chocolate and biscuits we got.
Let me see if we're in focus. Really?
We got so much. I'm still eating through it. It's 2 months after Christmas. And that's that's what community pharmacy is about. It's that you've made the relationship and the bond with people that you're in the heart of that community, and you are in the middle of that high street, but you've had such a massive effect on everyone that comes through your door.
And it's a busy place as well. It's not
it's intense.
It's not a small little store.
So I'm by the way the pharmacist and the store manager. So I'm running retail, I'm running my pharmacy, my team, I'm managing like 5 or 6 people, I'm managing people outside of the store.
So going from that, now that they know what you do, what responsibilities do you have if you're a pharmacy manager? Just give a brief.
Everything. Literally.
If the roof leaks, if someone doesn't lock the store properly at night, she gets called. If someone's off sick. I love this game. It's actually not funny.
What else? Dema will run out of till roll. Dema will run out of labels. Dema, there's a leak.
Dema, I need a new uniform.
Dema, I don't have a badge.
Dema, when's my holiday? Oh. This game is so funny.
But it's great because you feel
she's good at it.
It gets to me sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. Like I've had mini breaks. And recently it's gotten really intense because we were going through this thing called quality payments. I don't know if there's pharmacists out there, but if you know, you know. All right, we've been working towards it for the last 2 years, and that on top of like everything else, it's like really intense. But
so basically, you sell yourself to your store.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I don't think I would give up the world.
No, she's very good at her job. We're only messing around, by the way.
Yeah, no, I love my job.
How's the pay? I really don't know if I'm in focus, but keep going. You talk.
I've been talking about this recently. I've been thinking about it quite a bit. Right. As pharmacists, we are obviously on a higher payroll, right? Because at the end of the day, we've got master's degrees. We've had to go through.
Like I'm 25 and Dema's 26. For our age group,
we're doing well.
You're earning well.
Like you're not doing a bad job.
No.
But am I getting the pay the amount that I want? Maybe not.
For the amount of work you do.
Considering that we are dealing with people's lives, and if a mistake ultimately falls down to you,
let's put it this way: in America, pharmacists get like 100k.
Yeah.
In Canada,
120, FYI.
Oh, even more. So it's kind of like nurses and stuff like that, but it's a whole nother discussion. But once you get to Dema's level,
the salary is different. You do go, so if you become a manager, which is what I've said in my previous videos, your pay definitely does rise. So when I was working in the company Dema's working for, I was just it's called a store-based relief. I used to just work in a set store, and then I used to move around every couple of days when they needed me, but I had a set base store that if they needed someone, I would primarily be there. My pay was completely different to Dema's. If I'd wanted to become a store manager, which I could have, if I really, really had wanted to and voiced it, I could have, but that wasn't really for me. But your pay definitely does get better, but for the amount of work Dema does, do I think that she gets paid enough? Probably not. But her pay will go up. Yeah. It's like getting yourself into the role.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if I don't take
it's baby steps.
Yeah.
It's like with
you
anything.
have to take the bullet a little bit. If you want to be on that ridiculous, you want to run a flagship store as a pharmacist and do all that, for you to get there, you have to bite the bullet at some point.
They're not going to give you a flagship store when you first qualify. You're going to have to go from smaller store to then being store manager. So first you're a pharmacist in a small store, then you become pharmacist manager, then you might go to a bigger pharmacist manager store, then you might go to a flagship, and then you might work in central and blah blah blah.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. We were like, when will I probably get a flagship? I probably won't get a flagship for another 6 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like that good.
Which I don't think you are, but
we'll see.
But that's how your pay goes up, basically. Moving on to, we're gonna like flitter through topics a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. What's your advice to second year students looking for work experience? Well, I've had a lot of work experience questions in general. I would say try and do as much as you can, because I primarily thought I was going to do hospital pharmacy. Did a hospital work experience, which to be fair, I didn't do it in a great hospital because it was a specialist hospital. I would probably say do it in a general one, because I did it for an orthopedic hospital, so there wasn't as much work. I know that sounds bad, but they had like 10 pharmacists and all they would do is drink tea all day. Great job.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I get bored, and all they did was like write audits. So maybe I didn't do the most best work experience, but I would say try and do work experience in different sectors. I knew I wasn't going to do industry because it just isn't for me. We made aspirin at uni and I honestly was hell. I can't even light a Bunsen burner. I used to get the boys to light me the Bunsen burners. Can you light my Bunsen burner, please? And then, that makes me sound so bad, but I really do. And then, yeah, so I would say just try and do as much. So I never, ever, ever at uni would have said I would do community and be where I am now, ever. So I say do some. And advice to get some is go to your independents, apply for big companies like Lloyd's and all them to do their work experiences.
Get a Saturday job.
Yes, did you do Saturday pharmacist work? I did. So in 4th year, I worked for a big pharmacy company that I ended up actually working for on Saturdays whilst doing YouTube, studying, everything. Any ethics versus law dilemmas you've had to deal with? Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. She called me yesterday. She's like, can I ask you a question? Is this?
And then she was like, I don't know.
And then when I don't know, I'm like, oh. Every single day you will have
an ethical
dilemma. Every day.
Sometimes I wonder if an ethical dilemma would be waking up to go to work.
Sometimes I'm joking. Honestly, sometimes it's 10 ethical dilemmas. Yeah. I worked for a really big pharmacy. My base store was a big pharmacy in a shopping centre. So you're the community. So her community pharmacy is very different in mine. Mine was it's much less personable. It's much less, you know Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, blah, blah, blah. But you are the first point of call in accidents. So I've had to deal with many of an accident, and I was actually known as the one that if you were in, something was going to happen. Like
I used to get the calls afterwards saying, Dema, listen, this is what's happened today.
It's made me into who I am. I can deal with a lot of things. Like I've had to administer an EpiPen, which a lot of pharmacists will never have to deal with ever in their years. Like if you ask someone who's been practicing for like 30, 40 years.
Some people don't do anything like that.
Some people don't, but because of where I worked, you are that first person. I've been taught how to do it. You just got to get up and do it. I've had people collapsing. I'm sure you have. Like you've got so many things. That's not so much an ethical dilemma because you just deal with it. But you have like SHIT to deal with every single day. You've just got to. I go with my gut.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
My gut. We just call each other.
Yeah. But sometimes you can't call each other.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't.
It's people staring you in the face. But cool.
How did you find your first day as RP?
I'm gonna be honest. I can't remember it.
I can.
I can't remember it.
the first day I worked as RP, I worked alongside someone. So luckily, the company that we worked for put you in a store. Did they do it for you?
Yeah, but if it's the day that I think was my first day as RP, I hated it. I mean, I was given a Dorset box. I'm not joking with you, Barbs. I was given a Dorset box, and it had 15 white tablets in the morning dose, and I needed to check it that day. I spent about 3 hours checking that Dorset box. I didn't care.
No, you shouldn't care. You just wing it, and luckily, like I said, we were put with people, but he just kind of went into a room, the guy that was with me, I can't remember even who it was, and I was RP, yeah. So you've just got to be, like, I feel like, if by pre-reg you're not running your store, you're doing something wrong as a pre-reg.
Yeah, like
you in the last few months.
Yeah, you need to have been doing it like latest 3 months before you're going to sit.
So if you're not doing your CD balance with your tutor, so what I used to do is I would do the CD balance and then she would recheck me. So you just get a piece of paper and you write there's 32 concerta in the CD cabinet, and then she would check you and then she'd sign herself off. You need to be proactive when you're doing the pre-reg. You need to learn from everybody around you. Would you have picked another career? Or is pharmacy worth it?
So I say this sometimes.
Sometimes when we're mad,
I get really angry.
Even me.
Like, I'm really good at maths. Like, if you sat me down now and you said, would you pick pharmacy or would you pick something like accounting or finance?
The easier option would be accounting.
I would do accounting. And that's me being honest, because I just feel like, okay, yeah, of course you're in charge of accounts. You're in charge of a lot of money, potentially billions of pounds worth of money.
You're working for the right company.
But I would prefer to look after that than looking after someone's life.
Yeah.
Because one piece of bad advice could potentially harm someone, and that will always be in the back of your mind whenever.
Always. I don't care. Like,
people say it isn't, but it always is.
Some pharmacists, I have met some pharmacists that are so chilled, they are horizontal, and I'm like, how do you get better? Like, the amount of times that I have been up all night, just I don't know about you, I've cried, I've been up all night, and maybe my mum sometimes says, she's like, was this really the job for you? But then I'm like, but when you get that one customer that comes back and you've helped them, or like, that is the best, most greatest feeling. Like, and now that I'm locuming, so like I said, I'm not working in the same company as Dema anymore. I get that, like, someone like speaking to me and being like, oh, you know, is actually interested in you and is like thankful, and like even about stuff like I'm selling mascaras and stuff now recently, and like about the makeup, like it's so nice having that in like personal. Whereas like when I worked for a bigger store, I had my set few customers that used to come in, but it was a bit more flat. Yeah,
it's a bit more difficult.
And it's a lot more like, it's a different kind of stress. It's very like, you've got obviously your targets, but it's like a different, I don't know, I can't explain it. Working for a big store, it's just a different, it's a whole different ballgame.
By the way, I have this thing about, with the company that we work for, and we get loads of like stick about targets and budgets and all this sort of stuff. When people ask me, and I've had GPHC inspectors ask me this about targets, I don't believe in such a thing. I honestly don't. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing what you need to do and you're caring for the individuals that you need to care, and you have the right ethos as a store, that stuff comes naturally. What you should be focusing on is literally the heart and the whole, like, the pulse of what you are meant to be doing.
Like, so in pharmacy we have different things that we can do, like medicine use reviews, NMSs, new medicine services. I'm finding I'm doing more MURs in the smaller stores that I'm working at than in the bigger stores.
Really?
You know the people, like you pick it up. Whereas in a bigger store,
people are less like they're
rushing as well. Whereas like if you're in a smaller store, you're also more likely to hit your targets because people like you and they want to stop and talk to you. So it's just, it's something that I've picked up on anyway, but it's just hard. Also, what's your opinion on hospital pharmacy? Because I haven't asked you that.
So I did like a week or two placement in hospital at university. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And I was having a conversation yesterday with one of my friends who's just finished her pre-reg, is working in a hospital, and she works in like more fields, so it's very eye specific. You're really interesting. But is it for me? No, it isn't. I like the fact that I am responsible for a team, and I'm
you're good at it.
I'm the top dog in that store. Not like a top dog, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have somebody that is going to tell me how to do my job, because I might not necessarily agree with that individual's mentality or thought process or the operational tasks that they do, the way that they do it. I'm the one, I know what I like, and I don't want to speak for someone else.
I'm just sad that I didn't get to work in hospital to meet all the hot doctors.
We would probably be married off by now.
Probably. Oh, listen.
Baby bump here.
I don't know, maybe. yeah, all the hot doctors,
Yeah.
that's what I'm sad about. All the, what are they called? The studying ones?
The
F2s?
F1s and
that's
F2s.
it, F2s. Oh, I'd love an F2.
You'd want an F2,
I'd want an
not
F2.
F1. F1's still fresh.
Oh, give me an F2. Do you find working in a pharmacy store, which is good for you, very more so like retail instead of clinical? Do you feel like you're losing your clinical knowledge? Are you more like rushing around?
See, like
I'm very...
You're very clinical.
Ooh,
She's on the ball.
The new person that I'm working for at the moment, they said they were like apparently talking about me the other day, and they were like, oh, Barbara's quite clinical. But I don't know why. I'm just so... When I see a prescription... Yeah, like I see, this is what I think I took from Pre-Reg. Like I see the patient's almost like medical history right in front of me. But do you find you're more like... But obviously still clinical.
The thing is different for me because I know people's medication.
Yeah.
Because I've been in the store for 12 months. I know what Mr. Jones's prescription is taking and what's been changed. And people find that really weird because my store is really busy. Like we are constantly doing prescriptions and constantly doing walk-ins, and I always have about 3 shelves, like literally the whole entire wall is just of me needing to check on top of my management work. But I genuinely, when I read that name on that prescription and I know the address of that individual, I already know what they should be taking. So I'll be like, okay, well this is new. Well, why are they taking this?
I find that, like even me, yesterday in the new store I'm working at, I had a customer come in and they had already been given something which you shouldn't take a lot, and they'd come in again for it, and I clocked it just by looking at her. So I think when you work in smaller stores, you clock stuff like that. No, but I was very like hot on my conversations when I worked in a big store.
Yeah, of course you have to be.
Like you find as well, you'll see the newer style pharmacists are very, I don't know, maybe I'm generalizing, but I'm so big on stuff like that because you will miss that one person that will go and take cocodamol and paracetamol together because they just don't know. They don't read the packet. Yeah, they don't read the packet. Like they're just, you know.
It's not, but it says cocodamol.
I still was like really hot, and that's why everyone used to be like, Barbara takes longer, because I do want to counsel that patient. I'm sorry, that's my job. Like that's how I work. But you'll find an older school pharmacist won't really do that as much. They stay more at the back. I'm a very forward-facing pharmacist.
Yeah.
I like going out and like handing out my prescriptions and having that chat and like doing that. I'm less of that pharmacist that will stay, you know, you go into say they go in the back.
But the way I prefer also my team to be is that,
oh yeah, you need your team, you can't do everything.
You can't do everything. No. And this is what I get really frustrated about pharmacy, is that everyone wants to see the pharmacist, but they don't realise that everybody under the same roof as me is healthcare trained.
Yeah.
They have
most of them.
The majority of the training they need. I mean, I have dispensers that have been working for the company for 15, 20 years.
They probably know
more than me. They've had to kit, like one of my tutors, well, I had a tutor and I had a relief pharmacist that used to do the days off. She said to me, and this is really, really good advice, is that you aren't a fully fledged pharmacist until you have your own kids.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Because you don't know until you have a kid and you have to look after that child. Because the majority of people that come in are mums, like really young parents.
So I have a pharmacy near me, and it's the same company that we worked for, but they have this plaque thing on their board. I've spoken about it in my videos, and they say what a pharmacist is. So it says a pharmacist has studied for 5 years. They have done this, they have a master's degree, they're experts in your medication, and then it also tells you what the counter staff do.
I think that the advertisement should actually say, speak to your pharmacy teams, not your pharmacist, speak to your pharmacy teams, because it's a team ethos that goes 100%. In there.
This is a good one. How did you deal with the dispensers bullying you during your pre-reg? Be political. You will find people who are a bit more challenging. Again, I'm being really political with my words, a bit more challenging than others. You have to remember that when you're doing your pre-reg, you are probably looking for a job from the person that you're working for. You were.
Yeah.
So for the company that we were working for, I was looking to get a job at the end of it. So yes, I worked like a dog. I used to go in at 7:30. I used to do my deliveries for 9 o'clock in the morning for when my tutor used to come in, and I didn't used to leave until I was told to leave, and I am stupid for doing that. I see some pre-reggers now, and I'm totally...
They come in at 9.
They come in at 9, they leave, and like on the dot, which, listen...
If you want to do that, you do that.
But... you're not just a pre-reg, and I'm sorry, nowadays in our company that well, the one that I used to work for as well, they're trying to tell your pre-reggers that you're not part of the team. Hell yeah, you're part of the team. As I said, if you're not running that store, by the time you're leaving, you're doing something wrong. you are going to be part of that team. Those people are going to be the people, the dispensers. I don't care. You can't think your dispensers are below you. Your dispensers, you learn everything from. Any little things that I learned on like next phase and all this stuff. Like I learned from my dispensers.
It's not your tutor that's going to teach you that.
Your tutor doesn't have time to be like helping you every 2 minutes. If you don't have a good relationship with your dispensers,
you're screwed.
You're probably going to be around your dispensers more than your tutor.
They're like your friends. And also don't forget, when you qualify, you do end up working for the same company.
Ooh,
you are going to be a pharmacist in their store.
And if they don't respect you,
you're screwed.
Yeah,
you're screwed.
you've got to build a rapport. And I'm sorry, I've seen some pre-reggers in my time now. We can't be tutors yet because we're not 3-year qualified. You leave when you need to leave, but be part of the team.
Yeah.
Like if you can see your team needs you, like I'm telling you, half babe, 7:30 to 7:30 sometimes with no lunch. I was a psycho. No wonder I had IBS. Like I was literally a psycho at Pre-Reg. I broke up with my boyfriend. Like I you know, I overdid it. I did. I was stupid. I don't know if you think the same. I overworked myself. Like I really overworked myself.
You worked too much, man.
Babe, and my store was a care home store, so they used to put your delivery in the care home section upstairs. So this is why I used to have to go in so early, because I used to have to split the care home stock and our stock, and I used to want to have to get it done before the tutor used to come in. It was honestly like, when I think back, I'm just like, how did I do it? How did I pass? Like,
oh my god!
It was. My store was a hard store. Your store was a nice store.
My store was a nice store, but like,
so you get that.
And I get along with my dispensers, like that
so
work there, and I love them. There's like, they've all got a very special part. Like,
they do. You become like your family.
Yeah, they do. So you're gonna spend more time with those people than you do with your own families at home, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. And this is the conversation I had with my team the other day. Is that I see you guys, and I spend the most amount of time with you lot than anybody else. So actually you need to have the right relationship. So you need to be able, as a family does, have those bickering moments. You need to fight a little bit, because they don't forget also that your dispenser's potentially been there maybe for like 15 years, and they've got a new person coming in. Yeah, they have a new person coming in. They're like, oh my god, we have to train this person all over again.
This other young little girl, like, come on, seriously. It's annoying, it's draining.
It is draining, of course, and you completely understand, but if you have that conversation, you have the proper setup and be like, look, I don't know, have this experience, or I do have this experience. This is what I want to achieve in my pre-reg year. This is where I see myself in 3 months' time. Yeah, I want to learn as much as possible. Can you show me how you do this?
Like, right? I used to do DOS sits. I used to be at the front, and I'm sorry, you will end up doing the jobs that they don't like to do. So I used to do end of day all the time. Like, but you've just got to do it, and you have to, when you're doing it, you just have to think, I'm doing this because of this. And like, if you don't have that mentality, you're not going to get through it. It was I think the hardest year of my life.
Yeah, and it wasn't easy. It was really hard.
But I do think that I put that pressure upon myself. Maybe I'm scaring people a little bit, and I shouldn't, but maybe it's just because that's my work ethic. And like, to me, it was so important for my store to know that I am part of your team and I care about you. I used to do home deliveries, guys.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah, I used to do it as well. But like, as a pre-reg, shouldn't my pharmacist be going doing the home deliveries? Why am I going to do the home delivery? Like, I used to do so many things, like, listen, but you do it. But I used to do it because I care, and I still care. And that's, at the end of the day, our job, that's what you do. You do it because you care. And some of the people that I've seen
don't care.
Don't care.
They care, but they know where to draw the line. I think
maybe, like you said, we're just stupid.
But also, what I find really annoying about some pre-reg students is that they think because they've come out of uni and have done a master's degree, they don't do those tasks. They don't do the operations. They don't do this, but they want to manage a store, right? My advice to you, and take it from me because I am a store manager, I used every opportunity to do everything. I literally was like, how do I set up the cleaning rota? How do I order this? How do I do end of month? How do I lose money from end of month? How do I order this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Teach me this, teach me that. How do I speak to people like this? What do I do in this situation? Because at the end of the day, if you have the kind of the drive to want to run something, you've got to know that these things are happening under your watch and how to fix it. By the way,
I'm just looking at questions.
I know, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's one of those things, it's just, you're part of the team, so just get over it.
Yeah.
And just, you have to work, you have to basically give up your life for a year, because you're studying, you're working 40 plus, listen, I was working, I'm gonna say 50 hours. I was working 50-hour weeks, maybe more, and you're studying on top of that, and you have to kind of somehow find that you've got a social life around that, and you have to think that the people around you have to somehow understand. That was my thing, was that the people around me have to somehow understand that that's how I'm working. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
I will never, if you gave me £1 million right now and you said go back to Pre-Reg, I wouldn't take it. 1 million, even 5 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I just
it was
wouldn't.
Studying as well after work. That's what used to get me.
I didn't do it quite right. I should have done more studying after work. I used to leave it for my weekends, but I was so tired.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do any studying until like the last month.
Yeah.
And Barbara knows that's the truth.
But you did still do really good.
I did really good, but I don't know how I did that.
Smart.
I read things once and I remember.
If you can see a question on here, pick
I'm
it.
not wearing my glasses.
Oh, then pick it. In terms of tips for studying, what did you do?
Look, it depends on the sort of person that you are. I visualise my slides. Say, like I'm sitting doing the exam question, like on the exam day.
I visualise my paper.
I remember the page, right?
Yeah. You have to somehow fit that whole curriculum into the 52 weeks. This is why I've roped her in.
Yeah.
I would say have a plan. Watch my pre-reg video. I'm doing a shameless plug here. I will link it down below. But you need to, I think, print out your curriculum. I think it's changed. Like, how much weightings are and what things there are probably have changed. I did, and then you have to kind of set a plan. So like I did the higher weighting things first, because then you could go back to it, like heart, like epilepsy, all that kind of stuff, Parkinson's, all that kind of thing. And then I went on to, like, right at the end I did skin, eyes, all that kind of stuff. But what I should have done,
I totally did that the wrong way around.
That's what I did. I also say that I did that around, like, when was the exam? May. I started doing heart and stuff around, you start pre-reg in June?
No, the exam was in June.
Oh yeah, sorry. When do you start pre-reg?
July?
I probably started studying around October, which I think is too late. I would say you did it the month before. You did not do the month before.
I did it. No, she thinks that I'm lying, but I didn't. Barb's, honestly, I swear on my mum's life.
She's just,
and I don't know how I'm gonna be honest, I honestly don't know how I passed.
Don't do that.
We've had this discussion where I was potentially, I'm not promoting it, I was potentially not gonna sit my exam because I had loads of stuff happening outside of work.
Yeah, you did have.
So I was potentially gonna postpone it, and that's why I probably didn't revise. But I just kind of had the idea that actually,
just do it.
Let me try it, let me see how it goes. If I'm sitting there and I genuinely am having an anxiety attack before I open that page, I will walk out and I won't let it count. And I came out of that exam, I had 3 panic attacks on the way home. Yeah, I fully hyperventilated. We
were lucky. Our cohort was like, woo, we did great.
We did like 90, it was 95%.
We were in that we were in that
because we were at the first exam of the new format.
Yeah.
But I thought it was much more,
I can't remember that.
I felt like it was a lot, not easier because it wasn't easy.
Oh no, but I think it was more clinical.
Yeah, it was more clinical, but it was very much like real terms, like that you can visualize and picture that individual in front of you.
Also, I would say do things like learn your MEP stuff right at the beginning, because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then leave the harder stuff for like after, because that kind of thing you can kind of learn quickly. And OTC, and I kind of didn't, I left that to the end, which I would have done a little bit differently. And also mock papers, become best friends with everyone, get your mom. So like you have to basically, you've just got to be proactive, but do mocks, even the old school ones. I used to do some from like way back, just to get exam practice. And I always said as well, go to study days, so the ones you had to pay extra for. I spent a fortune during pre-reg on books and study days, but I think it added, and like I did a mock. I literally think I did a mock like 2 weeks before, and I passed it in one of those study
I don't think I passed a single mock.
Didn't you? No. I passed one. That one.
Only maths, but I was always good at maths.
I wasn't. But I think we should end it. I think this video is going to be like an hour long.
So long.
But it's fine. It's for the people who are actually interested, and I thought it'd be really fun. If you enjoyed this video, obviously let me know down below, and if you want more pharmacy related videos. I actually think it's really nice that people are interested, and it's so nice seeing like you saw, like people who actually
really into it. Like you guys sent so many questions. It's brilliant. And
nice that people as well who like, not I'm saying got inspired by me, but like looked into pharmacy because of me. Like,
I think that's really nice.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we genuinely don't look at this and take all the negatives. Any job that is worth, like nurse, doctor, you know, vocational jobs, it's gonna have hardships, but the fulfillment is what drives you to work every day and what wakes you up and makes you go to work.
Can I just say one thing? The one story that you you know what story I'm gonna say, the one that I'm really happy about. So like we've obviously talked about loads of negativity, but like I always will remember this, and this happened this year, is that guy that came in with that thing on his face.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, don't.
So like I basically had someone come in and he just was picking up a prescription, he wasn't even asking me anything about it, and he had like something on his face which looked like a spot to him. It didn't look like a spot to me, and I already spotted it before he'd even like had walked away. So I was the one who probed him and said, look, there's something.
In a nice way.
In like not a horrible way. And of course, like you've covered it up with a plaster, and then he showed me and I told him, you need to go to the doctors. I think it's something that you need to have seen to. And it turned out to be something that he had to get it seen to and had to get it removed. But it literally made me feel like this is why I became a pharmacist. I'm having a simple conversation with someone, and it's literally made like if I don't do anything in my career, I've done what I needed to do. That was enough for me. So that's why.
For me, it's the day of the EpiPen. Yeah.
I don't ever want to be in that situation.
I don't think I wanted to be in that situation, but you do it because you care. So don't look at this in a negative, just work damn hard, and you know, you will pass. If you put the work in, you'll do it, and you will find something for you. As you can see, Dema's very happy in what she's doing. I think area manager here, maybe even more. Clinical governance, would you do something like that?
I would like to.
What's higher than area manager?
It would be, you'd be like head of customer something, or head of operations, or head
so I see you doing stuff like that, but I also see you opening something up of your own. I would love to do something like that. So
if someone wants to donate,
if someone wants to sponsor us, we're here, the Great Pharmacist. Not tooting my own horn or anything, but I'm joking. But we are very happy, I think, and let's just see what the next few years hold. We could even do another one in 5 years. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you guys love Dema. I thought she was great for this video. So yeah, if you ever see her in store, say hi.
Say hi to me.
Can you imagine?
Imagine, that would be so like.
That'd be so cool.
But loads of people see me shopping with her, and I never get like. I just feel like a bit.
So now you'll know who Dema is.
I'm like her shadow, and I'm just like.
No, you'll know who Dema is now. Love you guys. Bye. Do you like that?
Yeah.